Let's take a look and see what we can do to solve this problem. So the first thing you see is that we have a cast problem here, which we're getting a type that is not being recognized as that type, or it has to be translated or cast into a different type. And it tells us exactly where the problem is. It says new book.from document package book tracker book.dart 44. So let's go to our book.dart. Let's search there, book.dart, there it is. Okay, so we've looked a bit before about this problem, at least in passing, if you will. So we're saying here in our book, we're converting this map into a book, right? So we're passing the constructor this field here, rating, as it comes back in from the database, Firebase, from our Firestore. It comes in as a number, and so we are putting that into a double. It looks like on the web everything is great, but in this case this is not working on mobile devices. So let's see how can we fix this. From reading this error, it says that it needs to be a type of double, which it is, but still having problems. So I've seen this problem before, and the way we're going to solve this is by creating a method that will help solve this problem. This method will return a double, but inside of this method, we are going to check to see if the value that we're receiving from the database, which is translate into an actual rating. If it's an integer, we're going to make it a double. If it's a double, it's going to be a double. Else, we're just going to return a double, 0.0, and see how that works. So I'm going to come down here. Let me make this smaller so you can see. In fact, let me just get out of, put this on the side, or to the side rather, and make this a little bit bigger. Let's go back there. So at the bottom here, I'm going to do, in fact, let's go to our constants. I'm going to go to constants. This is where we have all constants color, and it's a good place to add this function. I'm going to say double. Call this ParseDouble. Okay, I'm going to pass it dynamic because we don't know the type, so it's going to be a more generic type, dynamic. Call this value. And so I'm going to put inside of a try, and let's finalize with a catch like that, and I'm going to pass e. And for now, I'm just going to return, and let's just return null. Okay, in case of there's failure, we're just going to return null. What is that we want to do? Well, first we are going to check if whatever value is being passed, if it's an int. So I'm going to say if value is int, that's the case, then I'm going to return, I'm going to use double, I'm going to use the parse method, which parses to something. In this case, I'm going to say value that we're getting to string like that. Okay, so we're going to parse whatever we're getting into a double, okay, if it's int, because we want to always return a double. So we're going to get that information, which is a value, because we know it's an int. We're going to make it so that it's indeed a double. Then I'm going to say else if value is double. If that's the case, that's wonderful. I'm just going to return that value like this. In any other case, I'm going to just say else return 0, that's 0, which is indeed a double. If all fails, we're just going to return a null. So we're going to use this ParseDouble inside of our book, this problem. And for now, I'm just going to comment this out and retype everything. In fact, let me just say, like, copy this field, so we're going to change that. So what we're going to do, delete all of this, that of course, and I'm going to pass the ParseDouble. Okay, pass all of that inside there. I'm going to import that package like this. Okay, so again, we are using this ParseDouble, and we're going to pass the info rating, in this case, the rating coming from our database, Firestore, and convert that into a double. So we're going to check, as the method does, check if it's int. We're going to force that into a double. If it's already a double, well, we're good to go. We're going to say it's a double. Okay. Else, we're just going to return 0.0, which in this case is a double. If all fails, then we're just going to return a null. Let's see if this is going to help our case. I'm going to save, which means then we're going to go back to our run, our terminal. Let's open just a new terminal like that. Let's go ahead and go up, run, -- release, again like this. Hit enter. And while it does that, let me just go ahead and just delete this. And by the way, you can see that when we installed, the icon is installed and the name of the app is everything there. So that's good. That's good to know. So I'm just uninstalling the previous one, even though it's going to be overwritten, but I like to uninstall it completely so we have a clean slate. Again, we might need to wait, so be patient until all this process is done. Okay, it looks like it's all installed. Let's log in. And voila, it is working now. You see the books are showing here. Very good. Everything is looking really good. I can click on one of these books and I have all of that information. And that was it. That was what we needed to get this to work. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Very excited. Let's go ahead and do some searching here. Let's say psychology. Hit enter. Sure. Why not? And you can see, you can go and scroll up and down to read the description. Gonna go ahead and save that book. Maybe there's some books, other books that we want. You can scroll all the way. Clinical psychology. Yes, exactly what I've always wanted to learn. And those books are added, of course, in our list here. So you can see there it is. And let's say we want to start reading that one. We start reading. Give this for now. Scroll up. Update. There it is. Right? And if I decide this is going to be maybe 3.5, say great, so far, scroll up, update, 3.5, go back, there it is. All right, it's very good. And at some point I want to give a 4.5. Wonderful book as such. And update, and I decide, okay, I'm done. I've read it all. And go ahead and update, and it's gone. We go here, you can see now John has 7 books, and one of those is this book there. All right. So it is indeed working. This is very exciting. Okay, so there you have it. So there you have it, the same app that indeed works. In fact, let's make sure that this still works on web, because that's another thing. Let's go ahead and change devices here. Select devices. I'm going to say Chrome, and let's go to main so we're able to actually run this. Start debugging. Let's say I want to delete this book. So yes, and voila. Okay, while we wait for the Chrome to get into the debug mode. Okay, there we go. It's running perfectly fine. Let's hope. Let's say, let's just log in with John. Okay, still working fine. That's very good. Same books we've seen before. And we can still go and search Android. All right, there are those books. That's very good. That's not very interesting. Okay, Android's Dream. I have no idea what that is. Let's just cancel out of that. But in any case, things are still working. That's very good. So we haven't broken anything. So the code that we've added, which allows us to parse the double value coming from Firestore, works now for both mobile and web. And there you have it. In fact, this is very exciting. Let me just pull this here, make this small so you can see this app. Side by side, we are logged in as the same person. Remember that the image will always be different because we're getting those images from a server and they always give us random images. But let's see. So this is the same person. Let's see if I change this to something like that and say hello, update. Look at it. Now it's 4, and you can see on the web usually just cuts off the .0, right? It just says 4. But if I come here again, you can see that it says hello, so it's updating. If I update from here to, let's say, 5 star, say 5 stars, and update, now it's 5. See here that it's automatically changed to 5. If I click again, you can see there it is, 5 stars. If I decide, of course, to delete it, the book that is from here, say yes, voila, it deleted automatically also on the mobile. because we're using the same database, the same backend infrastructure. That's what's happening. Whenever we delete something in one place, automatically the same is reflected on the other end. So I go here and add a new book, running. There we go. Let's save. Go back. This book was saved running somewhere. There it is. If I scroll on the mobile, we should see running there as well. Okay. If I change that running, start reading there, and update, we should see both. Voila. Yes, great. So you were able to obviously run this on web as well as running this on Android. This is crucial and this is huge. We didn't have to do a lot of work in terms of customizing the code for mobile versus customizing the code for the web. This is still the same code base. This here, what we have. And it is working on both web app as well as on Android. Very good. Well, I hope this excites you because to me, this is very exciting. This is the power of Flutter in many ways, especially now that Flutter Web is ready for developers to use, such as yourself. Very exciting.